Yo guys, so I wanted to go over this Vancouver Ultra game and just take you through the tactics of this game, okay? The the tactics, the tide shift, the momentum shift, all that stuff. I can't even speak right now. But I just want to go through like my tweet real quick that for some reason I posted, but if you at somebody, it doesn't show as a post, it shows as a reply, which is weird. But this basically sums up the hard point. Vancouver Surge played as good as a red card hardpoint as you could play up until they didn't. They found a way to slow the game down by taking time, working together, routing to get the better side of every hill and manipulate spawns when they had holds to make the game easier. But then something teams gotta start doing when they're super close to the hardpoint win is start taking less routes and start flooding the hill. There's nothing the other team could do or plan for if you're so close to winning and hitting insane pressure on the map. There's no time to think. Toronto Ultra adapted to the routes and started playing every hill more compact, making it easier for Surge to walk into a trap. So I'm going to break down everything I just said, and you're going to see exactly what I mean bar for bar in this video. So let's get right to it. I even got the marker and everything for this. So majority of the time, Vancouver was playing, like, they took a approach that I don't see a lot of teams taking. Like, yes, a lot of teams play for the spawns, but Vancouver made it a priority, like an instant priority, and everybody was on board for it. It was not one person doing it, it was a team effort. And because of this, it really threw Insight off, because the video I made about Insight on this map of red card hardpoint was how good he is at being the guy holding the spawns, stopping the routes. But the routes are way harder to control when you got multiple people doing it. It involves an extra person, and when you take two people now away from the hill, it leaves the hill now very vulnerable. And you see how open it left Ultra, and Ultra really didn't have a response until later in the game when Vancouver was so close to the win and still kept taking routes for some reason. So I want to highlight this right at the beginning of the game. So 0-4 goes for like a pinch and ticket, that doesn't matter, but it's more about this. So I mean, I can't speak for Vancouver, but I could just speak for what I'm seeing. They double routed this. So I've talked about it in a lot of red card hardpoint videos, how this side is of all importance on P1. The reason why this is of control, or the reason why this is of importance, is because controlling this side for P2, keeping them pinned in the back, is what you want. But also, if you control this outside part, your team gets hill spawns. Your team gets hill spawns for P2, makes it easier to navigate this like sort of shape. This is like the shape you want from P1 going into P2. You usually want like this kind of shape, because you could have a guy in the hill. You could control all of this, so everyone on the other team that tries to come from this side, you could take care of them. And then when you get the appropriate kills, like, then that shifts to like that sort of shape when you now have eyes back here. It like goes from a here to like there. That's like that's the shape that you want. But they know how important it is to have this side, but they also know that Ultra plays for it as well. So having Neptune now taking this route, which you're going to see, now takes attention away from protection on the hill. So now one guy looks and another guy goes to help him, leaves one guy all alone by himself for now multiple Surge guys to now take him out. And even though Neptune dies, all of Vancouver is going to get control of this, because now people got taken away from this, and you're going to see how this plays out. I thought this was like a great strat out of them. And like Neptune actively slamming every door, like, had to have been on purpose to like let them know, because I can't even imagine you're actually trying to take that route and go unnoticed if you want to hit every door. He's actively hitting 3 doors in a row. And then right there, probably could have played his life, but he slid out. But now look, it takes him away from the hill. This guy's on the hill alone. 6 was there, he died, and now 7's all alone here, and now he dies. And then now Vancouver have control of outer. And now Ultra spawning inside. And now Vancouver taking control of the outer because now like they hard baited them away. Now you see like they get the kills. Ultra's flustered. They got all the kills now. And Ultra's Ultra's still spawning in there, but it's fine. And now look, they're looking for Kleenex because like they know Kleenex is around here. Look at how they're actively, so like they know Kleenex is back there. They know it's important to get him out because they want to trap. They want to. I can't even speak. I'm speaking too fast. They want to trap Ultra in the back, so they have to get Kleenex out. They're looking for him. They're hard looking for him, and then like they finally get him. Kleenex did not do a good enough job hiding. And now if you notice, so like Abuza is playing on the stage. He dies, but it doesn't matter. They pinch. They get the guy off the hill. Neptune instantly flies in there. Nasty's going to help. Just instantly runs up. Like, dude, like the camera on that is insane. And that's something like a lot of people have to learn that aren't in the pro league. Like another tip just to get better. The reason why you should be watching like pro Call of Duty, not only because it's like the best players in the world, but also these are the masters. Like this is stuff that they definitely practice is cameraing. And I'm not just talking about breaking cameras with knee slides cancels, but there's so many different animations that characters do that in the first person screen they does not look crazy, but in the third person it looks insane to the person that's looking. Like even like something like this, like the way he like slides up and knee slides and like gets that, it's crazy. And you're gonna see an even crazier example like fucking later. But it actually was like a nasty on the hedges, like they got the trade for him. But now you're gonna see Vancouver has control of outer. This guy's pushing up because they don't want anyone taking any routes. Like that spawn's okay because they have full control of the outside. As you see, they're just controlling the outside. They got a little bit too aggressive. They got a little bit too aggressive because you're gonna see someone spawn out. I think. Someone spawn out in a bit. Like you're gonna see it in a bit. But right now they're holding great control. And now like a number 2 pushed up a bit too much. And now number 5 got the spawn. But it's okay. And the reason why it's okay is because now there's only 17 seconds left. And you want control of the outer on P3 going into P4. So this is a strategical flip, by the way. So let's have to point this out. So right here, it's like 30 seconds. Now, like, they're starting to push up more. They're still trying to keep him in the back. They wanted the initial control. They keep him trapped in the back. And now you can see number 7 getting cross kills. Doesn't matter if Ultra's now taking routes into mid, because that doesn't matter. Because by the time they even try to hit the hill, it's protected. They got the guy over here. They have all the eyes on, like, all the mid cross. You can see Neptune on the stage here. And they're just, like, allowing Ultra to go that way. And it doesn't matter if Surge gets the back spawn with 16 seconds left. How could they get trapped? Because all of Ultra is trying to take routes to get out of the back spawn. So this is all very strategical stuff from Vancouver. You can just see, like, now, like, they get the kills. It doesn't matter that Ultra got out. They got the kills. But something I will say is that Vancouver did a good job playing for the spawns on every hill. But I think their P3... I think their P3 holds on the outer were a bit sloppy. Sometimes they got a bit too aggressive and Ultra was able to flip. I think it happened on this first one. So, like, number 2, you can see he's waiting for someone. Now he's going to get, like, Joe right now. And then he gets Joe out of the back, and now they have them all trapped in the back. They got 4 down now. And now, 2 is blocking, and 04, and number 4 is not being useless on the hill, by the way. He's actively staring right in the back because he knows there's a crossfire here. He knows there's a crossfire here. If I want to take up the pencil again, crossfires right here. And then I kind of don't like the way 3 played it. I like the position that he's in, controlling like the top mid. Definitely could have played a better spot, but I mean, I am going to give credit to Ultra because it's very smart. They didn't want to get trapped in the back. They knew where they were spawning. They knew how deep they were spawning. They knew what Vancouver was doing. They acknowledged it, and they instantly took routes. They didn't even try going for the hill. They said, we do not want to get trapped back here. They double took routes at the back, and I like how they did it together. They didn't just do it individual. They're clearing every corner because they know there's going to be person that plays top mid. They got him out, and then oh yeah, this is the other camera I want to talk about. So before we get into this, take a look at this Beans. Take a look at this Beans kill right here. So they have him trapped in the back. Beans sees him. Beans is chasing him. Look at this kill right here. So Beans goes up like the sidewalk and he G slides like off like the sidewalk because there's like a tiny bit of like air there. Slides off, cameras him. Take a look at this camera right here. And this is the stuff that people should learn. These are small things to help like improve your game. Take a look at this kill. Slides off, and just the movement of sliding and then jumping the other way. It doesn't matter how good of a pro player you are. It's just an instant thing. Like you see someone one way, you start shooting there, and they already like fly across. It's just an instant camera. Like your brain can't even like process that look. Like he sees him, next thing you know, he's already over there, but he's already like just camera the fuck out of him, and he's on a deep ass heady too. Like that is an insane kill. Like these are the kills that go unnoticed, but Beans is so good at picking people off, things like this. Like that is such a talented kill right there from Beans. But I want to talk about this from like Abuza. So after number 3 dies and 04 dies, his instant response should be backing up here, because he should know now, because Nasty's going to call it out that there's multiple people trying to take control of the top. He should be responsible enough to back up, and even though his team's probably going to get the back spawns, he needs to try to hold the top. Instead, he overcommits and he just gets like pinched by everybody, and then they don't have the spawns, and now Vancouver's all in the back. Definitely should have backed up there and just played his life. But and now you're gonna see, because they don't have the top spawns, Ultra actually gets like this P4, and it helps them get back in the game. If Vancouver like maintained this outer, they could have pulled away, and like the comeback probably couldn't even have happened. And I'm sorry for like talking over my words. I literally try to talk so fast, I need to just slow down when I talk. My brain already knows exactly what I'm trying to say, and I try to speak way too quick. And so something I want to point out here is something all you rank kids have to learn. Dude, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, okay? And this is why I got to point it out. If there is a person on a hill, this goes for any hill, and you have full control. Like, it's not like there's a person missing. Usually when there's a person missing or you're a man down, that's when you start playing more tight. But when you basically got all the kills and there's no one near the hill, there only needs to be one person on the hill. You are doing a disservice. Like, let's say 6 was here and 5 just decides to just go on the hill with them. Happens to me all the time in ranked or whatever I'm playing. Dude, if I'm on the hill, spread out. Like, keep the pressure away from me. You turtling with me is just inviting all the pressure in us to get sandwiched on the hill. But you'll never see us at the pro level ever, obviously. And someone want to point out, because a bunch of you noobs, man, you guys keep doing that shit, and it's just like common sense. I'm like, you guys literally don't want to play the game. But take a look at Ultra just staying outside the hill. This guy's able to slip by, but it doesn't matter because he goes up top like an idiot. But this hill's all about crossfires. You just need one person on the hill. The only time you should ever have another person on the hill is if the team just got wiped and you need to play tight because you know they're already close to it. Or if you're a man down, you need to play tight, like trades, crossfires. Or, I mean, it's not even crossfires when they're on top of each other, but just like close, tight-knit gameplay. And you're going to see Ultra do that in like the latter halves of the game. But that's the only time. But if you have like full control 4 down and I see anybody doubling up on a hill, you're throwing. You're actually throwing. But look, they have all like the crossfires. They have all the crossfires. And Vancouver can't really do anything. Ultra wanted to get that side. They were trying so hard like to get that side, but then they realized that they literally couldn't get it, so they kind of gave up on it. And also, I actually want to point like this right from Abuza, because I remember actually watching this live. When I was watching this live, I was watching it alone, and I just like rewinded it like a million times. So I probably watched this map already like 5 times. Look, so Abuza takes this route right through hedges, sneaks underneath like the guys who are up in the window. They don't even see him. Doesn't make any noise. Sneaks through P2. Sneaks around like the ladder thing. Slides right on the hill because he instantly knows he's going to be right there and takes control of the last 15 seconds. Thought that was a great route from Abuza right there to sneak by. But that's why I feel like, because I've raged at some people before, playing this fucking top is not good. But you know, if you're playing against like the right people though, then like you can take routes. But I don't really like playing the top. Like you just give up so much space on the map. This is only like a good spot if like you have like fuck teammates out here. But if you're like by yourself, like anything could happen. Like Abuza just made like a smart play though, sneaking right underneath them. So I mean, I have to commend him for that. Like look, he was like right here. He like scared him back a bit, and then he like ran through. And 8 was like already on a rotation, so like he could kind of like right back around mid. But yeah. And now I think the mistake that Ultra made here was Beans overcommitting for like the scrap time here. I think Beans should have just stayed back and played out. Instead, he pushes basically the whole team by himself. And take a look at Vancouver here. So this is like the other example. So this is going to happen like all game up until like they get like the big lead. Look at how they're not even instantly hitting. I'm going to tell you right now. So I'm going to tell you like what 04 is doing as I'm talking about. So I got to turn the volume down too. So they are sending 3 people back here because obviously this side is the side you want to control. But something I've seen a lot just from watching all these games is like people play for it, but it's been a long time since I've seen a team get like a devious spawn trap on this P5. I think I see like Atlanta FaZe get it and LAT get it. Like I see like the top teams get it, but I feel like other teams struggle to actually get a lot of time even after they get control of this side. Like they have a hard time doing it. But I think a lot of times like players like a BZ like troll, like whenever like they're pushed up around here. But I have seen some teams get some good time off of it. But so Vancouver sends 3 people back here because they know this is the important side. But 04's life really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, because the reason why I'm explaining it, the reason why it doesn't matter if he throws his life away, because a lot of people are probably wondering why he didn't go 2. It's always good to have at least one person. Like there's certain scenarios like the P2 that we watch when all Vancouver's all around mid, all hitting it. That's a different scenario in a different part of the map. But in a scenario like this, and you can't really get trapped on P2, like to be honest, if you're all fucking hitting mid. So the reason why this does not matter is because his 3 teammates are probably got to deal with like 1 guy, maybe 2 at the most. And they have enough confidence that they're probably going to out-trade this guy and they're going to get the back spawns. So 04 has enough time to maybe get a kill. If he gets a kill, great. If he doesn't, he spawns on a pinch. And this is obviously the spawn that you don't want. But when you know your team's going to overall win control, unless they just get 3-piece, I mean, like then it would just be like a just troll. But I mean, they already know it's not going to happen because they know it's mostly just Insight back here. But Insight's obviously not back here yet, so it has to be Joe. So it doesn't matter if 04 dies because then he's going to spawn on a pinch. And him spawning on a pinch is beneficial because now Ultra has to look 2 different ways. As opposed to if 04... So then I'm going to pull up the pen for this. If 04 is over here, then all of Ultra would just have eyes over here. And even if like he gets the kill, you're now like trapped in here and you don't have control. Granted, you have the good side, but you have no space over here. You have no space over here. 04 definitely also could have played a bit different, played his life in ticket, but there's alternatives to like the way that he played because there's usually always like more than one right way. So he dies here and he's going to spawn on a pinch, and this is going to take at least one person's attention away, like the guy on the hill. It actually takes 2. And then now Ultra has to look 2 different ways, which allows Surge to just like flood on them and trade them because another person is going to die here. So it's going to be like a 2-2 pinch. So now Ultra has to look 2 different ways. They get sandwiched. Vancouver gets the hill, and then they get control. So that's why it's not that bad that 04 died here, because he had confidence in his team to get control of the back, and he spawns on a pinch. It could cause more chaos. And then if he dies on the pinch after they get control, he's going to get that spawn anyway. So 4 dies, number 2 dies, and now it's very important that now number 4, number 3 get these kills, which is why they're taking a lot slower now, because now it's very important. And now notice 8 has to go back to help, and now 5 has to deal with this on his own. So imagine if 04 was like over on this side, it would now just be everyone over here. But I mean, like the next guy probably would have spawned over there anyway. But so he's able to get that guy at least. Wait, where the fuck did Neptune? Where did Neptune come in? Okay, so Neptune got that kill and he got the guy up the hill. So that's a heads up play from Neptune. And then like they get the guy at the back, and then they're gonna get this guy. And now they have full control, and now they have all of Ultra where they want them to. So funny, I literally keep telling myself like not to like talk so fast, but so I'm gonna highlight this as well because I have seen Ultra do this in the past. Ultra realizes what Vancouver's doing. They've been realizing it this whole game how Vancouver's playing, and they don't want to get trapped, and they acknowledge that Vancouver's trying to like just get them on a deep spawn and just keep hitting this. So not one person hits L at all. They're all taking routes. 8 takes an extended route around because they know there's going to be a guy in ticket because there's always someone playing for ticket control because it's easy kills on the S-key. So this is a heads-up route from Kleenex to go around because they're going to try to get this guy to ticket. He goes all the way around. But number 5 ended up getting like the kill anyway. And then he walks right in. Gets that kill. And then Ultra actually gets us like right back, but I mean they don't really get any time because Surge is just on pinches and they have control of the back, so Ultra couldn't really do anything. But like I like how they try to break out the back and like not get trapped. Like they're very aware of it. And now like you see instantly, take a look at what Vancouver's doing. They're all playing for outside. They're all going for outside. Insight kind of trolled there, not gonna lie. He died a little bit too easy there, but yeah, but now they have control of outside, and I'm gonna highlight this thing as well. So now Vancouver get the kill, so now you're gonna take a look at this. So like they get beans because they know people are still playing for outer, and now take a look at this. I want to highlight this because this is something you're only gonna see at the pro level. You're never gonna see. I've watched countless challenger VOD. I've watched constant VOD from people that send me VOD to look over. This is something I'll only ever see at the pro level because I just don't feel a lot of people having like their fucking tool bag, which is why it's very good to watch VOD. Like people always ask how to get better. Watch how the pros played, not just the first person, because the first person is pretty easy. I mean, you just have to have like the skill for it. But watch what their arrows are doing and watch what they're doing for like their team. This is a team game at the end of the day. You're trying to win the game. They get these kills. So like they get these kills. Take a look at Neptune. And we want to talk about roles. You know, we talk about roles. There are roles in Call of Duty. I've already said this. I'm not going to repeat it again. But everyone has to be able to do everything. And Neptune's like the headbanger. He's like literally one of the route takers on the team. But the position he's in, his team is already pushed up. Look at what he does. They get those kills. He starts sprinting to the back to block the spawn. And look at where fucking Ultra is spawning. If you're trying to fight from P1 to get to P2 and you get a deep fucking spawn like that, that must be the most demoralizing thing ever. Because I play rank sometimes, and like sometimes when we get a deep spawn, I could just hear my teammates just giving up. They're like, oh my god, dude, I'm so far away. But you know, that's how it was in old school CODs, bro. I used to spawn you across the map, dude. But take a look at that. He goes all the way to the back, blocks it out. Notice he's in the middle, because if he like blocked the outside, then Ultra still could have got the inside spawn. He blocks the inside. I don't like how aggressive 04 got, because 04 could have kept him in this trap a little bit longer for like another life, and they could have got the rest of this 17 seconds. He got a little bit over aggressive. He knew how deep they were spawning. This is definitely something that they communicated and organized. Like, this is a great setup that they have. Like, look how great this is. Like, you have 2 playing for like the P5 because they think Ultra's probably going to try to take routes out again. So you got multiple people looking for that. You have this guy. They basically have the whole map covered. Like, this split has the whole map covered. Like they have this area covered. He's got the straight covered. Arrows over here. So they basically have every section of the map covered. Like they're making a big map look very small. And this is great teamwork. This is great. This is definitely something that they've obviously went over. But I think 04, because it's happened a lot to him too. Sometimes he just gets a little bit too aggressive. Sometimes he gets in a great spots and then he does a little bit too much, but I've seen that from a lot of players. This is definitely a position where Ultra is literally running out the back. They literally have to walk into your irons. You could get some more kills here. Instead, he forces an issue that he doesn't need to, and now it puts fucking Nasty in a bad position, and now Nasty's gonna die, and now it opens it up. As opposed to if 04 just held an iron on a car, that's all he had to do was hold an iron. Ultra literally would have walked right into him. You had like Nasty on the hedges. Like you had him playing, you literally had him complete top control. All 04 had to do is just play a car there and literally get a kill. Or hard bait him and just fucking wait for Nasty to come help him. All he had to do. Because they could have trapped him again. And if they killed Ultra again, Ultra would be spawning here one more time up until the P2, you know? But instead, they allowed Ultra like the breakout, which I thought was a little bit sloppy. But that's the stuff that happens sometimes when you're like super in control of a game. You just get way too confident. Like sometimes. Honestly, happens to everybody. And now, like, notice again. So this is just highlighting Vancouver again. They don't even care that Ultra's on the hill. They're thinking about the priority here. So everyone spawns up, and look at where everyone goes. Look at where everyone goes. Arrows, like, they're going for this shit. They want this. They want this space. They want this space. Look at the collapse that's going on here. And, like, they get everyone out, and now look. Now they have control of, like, this whole side now. And now Ultra spawning in the back. They have full control of this now. 8's going to go on a pinch, but you got 2 on this stage who has, like, a line of sight. Boom, you're gone. Now they have him trapped in the back again. This is the second P2 in a row that they have fucking done this. The second P2 in a row. You got number 4 playing for some spawn kills. Ultra realizes, once again, what Vancouver Surge's doing. Don't want to be in the back, so they're running out. But Vancouver doesn't care. Once again, this happened 2 P2s in a row. Ultra's just playing into Vancouver's cards. Vancouver, 20 seconds left. They now take control of the back because they now know all of Ultra's going to try to push out. Now they're pushing him in the direction. I don't know why I'm using my hand. Like I literally just used the pen. Now they're pushing all of Ultra in the direction of P3 so they could take control of Outer. That's what Vancouver wants. They want control of this. So I'm just gonna like explain this real quick. So in the beginning, they took control. Like everyone, they formed a formation here. They collapsed on this area. They got all of Ultra out of this area, and then they went from this. They went from that shape to now this shape to keep him in the back for a while, and then they went to like this shape now, to now make all of Ultra have to go through here now. Like, you know, they showed 4 different shapes. They literally did the whole circle in this. I actually need a name for this. I'm not going to lie. Because this is like actual tactical masterclass stuff. So first they do this shape. Like to get him over here. Or like to get him out of there. Okay? And then they do this shape to get them, and now they're spawning in the back. And then after they get those kills, they now do like this shape where they still have control of mid, but now they're pushed up. So now they want all of Ultra to start running this way. And then the final shape, now they now have control of this. Ultra is now down here, and now they have control of this side for the P4. This is a tactical masterclass, all executed in the whole P2 window. So I could even like actually go through the shapes again and just show you in real time. I'm gonna try to use my pen and erase at the same time. So this is the first shape that they give. So like they give like that shape, and it's all about getting Ultra out of here. So you can see him do that. Jeez. Now look. So like now they get all of Ultra out. Yeah. Jeez. And now it's like this shape now. They get all of Ultra out here. Now they get all of Ultra. And now it's like this shape to like now get them out the back, and now they make Ultra go this way. You got this guy playing for a spawn kill, but it doesn't matter. And now he's probably gonna die pretty soon. And now they just scared all of Ultra back along this side. So they did a full circle formation on them. I need a name for that. I really gotta start fucking coining some phrases like AR responsibility. And then they just played a fiddle on Ultra that whole P2. But then they got a bit sloppy there, not gonna lie. They got a little bit sloppy there. Like everything was going good, but then like they didn't block the back. Like at this point, I'd be blocking the back exactly like they did in the last P2, because they did on the last P2 where they blocked the back, gave Ultra the inside spawn to invite them to take the route and go this way instead of having to deal with them from the backside. Because this is what you don't want. If you want like this outside control for P3 going into P4, you don't want them spawning here, because then you have to wait for them, and it's just like a wait. Easier advantage for them. Like you want them to get in the inside spawn. You want to invite them to go out there, have to come out the doors to get you. Like you want control of this outer. You want them to come from that way. Yeah. So they did get a little bit sloppy there, but in the end, it's like not gonna matter. So you got number 5 trying to play for outside, but then like they died. Like they know there's gonna be a guy back here, and it's like shits on them. So right now, Vancouver doesn't have control of outer, but they're slowly working for it. So now, like you see number 4 taking routes. I don't know why he didn't just hit this shit. He should just hit this shit. He probably thought someone from Ultra was like going to be at the door, because he knows Ultra's a very smart team that plays the game like the correct way. So right there, he just got caught lacking. But as you can see, they're constantly playing for outer. Like they're constantly playing for outer. Neptune doesn't get it, but then Nasty gets it. And Nasty's very aware, I'm pretty sure, of this spawn, which is why he goes all the way around. But that spawn, I mean, like you can't control that. It is a spawn that actually has been happening a lot. It's been happening a lot. So if you actually do your review on VOD, you know, it's actually a spawn you can predict. But, you know, in the heat of the game, you're probably thinking, yeah, like I flipped. But this involves knowing where like your team is at the time. And like 2 is like still sort of in a position where it kind of invited 8 to get that, because the game's probably going to consider it. You're blocking both sides, so it's gonna spawn them fucking deeper. So like if you're ever like 8 and you get a P1 spawn, then you gotta let your team know instantly, because that instantly tells you there's a guy around here. Because you never spawn that deep on a P3. You usually spawn like there. Like if you spawn there, you could know he's around here, but if you spawn here, he's around there. So I'm surprised 8 just kind of like ran forward. I don't know why. Like you never get a top spawn ever, like unless there's a player in that area. But Nasty actually gets both kills, which he should never be getting, by the way. Like 8 should be very aware of that spawn, which just goes to show the players probably don't do that much VOD review, to be honest. Like everyone knows that like 6, we're 6 spawn. That's the spawn that you get. That's the spawn that you get. But he was not that aware. Like he shit on him, and even like said shit on. That was a big kill. From Nasty, because it gave his team like the outside spawns that they so desperately needed. And we're not in the position again in the beginning. Very good spot from Neptune too, and he shit on that guy too. Like holy cow. And the thing I actually like about this has nothing to do with like the analysis, by the way, but just the wherewithal from Neptune. Like how many players are just sliding when there's like nobody around them? He just anticipates that there's going to be players around here, so if he's always in some sort of a movement, it's going to like catch a person if a person does come around the corner like off guard, as opposed to him just like right now he's like using his Anu, he's like walking. If he was just like walking like normal right here, so if he's just like casually walking right here, Kleenex definitely fucking would have got him. But he went right into a knee slide before he even knew Kleenex was there, which I thought was very tippable. Like that's just heads up, like fucking game knowledge, honestly. Just to like anticipate there could be a person around the corner and just fucking caught him like that. Like that is like heads up shit. That's like small shit that, wow. Like that's chef's kiss, because that kill was big too. That kill was big. And now all Vancouver is playing for them because they want to flip Ultra to like the bad side, and they successfully did what Ultra could not do. Ultra tried to do this on like the last P4. They try to get everyone out of the P3 era, like to get them on this spawn. This is the spawn that you want them on because you have the height of like the stairs and the bushes, and they spawn deep. They have to cross, and the crosses are very hard. Neptune got a bit too aggressive. Number one's way too far pushed back. I don't know why number one ran all the way back. You need to be pushed up at least to the bushes to keep the pressure away from the hill. And I think also 3 could probably be playing a better spot too, but I mean he did get at a P2 kill. But they definitely needed more bodies out here. Neptune got a bit too aggressive there. And I feel like Neptune definitely could have pushed up to P1, but I think 04 needed to push up like to like there. Like he needed to be somewhere there to help on the crossfires. So I thought that was sloppy out of Vancouver, to be honest. But now you see like it really doesn't matter anyway. Like they just have all the crossfires. It's actually incredible. But you know, against another team, probably could have went fucking bad because now you could see how many numbers that they had like in front of the hill because people got a little bit too antsy and like were in like bad spots. But I don't mind Neptune's play of getting aggressive because obviously like he knew where they're spawning. He just got a terrible timing. They definitely could have advanced up the map, but definitely could have like paused around like hedges, like you know. And now, like, I actually want to highlight, I want to highlight this fucking Neptune route, by the way. So after, like, they get these kills, like, after Neptune gets that kill, he knows, like, the spawns that they're getting. He wraps all the way around. Wraps all the way around, and now, look. Pops a 2-piece. And you want to know what's so funny? He's like, I'm going to wrap around again. So he goes through P5 because now he knows with 12 seconds left, Ultra's not going to commit to that. Ultra's going to be on a P5 rotation. Wraps around again. This is stuff that a lot of FaZe isn't like dealing with. He gets that kill. He checks the second one, but like obviously Beans fucking turns on him. Definitely probably could have like got the kill and like through his shoulder or like something, but Beans just fucking turned and burned him. And now this is where Ultra comes back. So this goes into the second part of the paragraph that I said, where now Ultra realizes what Surge is doing and they start playing more tight. They start playing more compact, which means when you start playing more compact, you're less vulnerable to the routes that they're taking because everyone's now together. You're not playing split. You're not playing wide. You're not playing wide setups because when you're wide, that's what makes like the routes way easier because now you're picking a person off. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, oh my God. But when you're all together, all looking at everything like tight, compact together, makes it easier to deal with the routes. But Vancouver's at a point, 227, 23 points to the win. You got to start just hitting the hill more. Don't really need to be doing all the route shit now. The work that you did the whole game with the routes that you take, everything was flawless. And now this is like the second phase of the game where now you don't need to now keep doing the same thing. Now you need to enter in the game plan for the finishing. You know, you need a different type of game plan to finish games off. You don't use the same thing the whole game unless you have just fucking full control. But definitely now all Vancouver needed to do now, like they didn't necessarily have to play for the spawns, but I don't mind that they did. They now needed on this P5 to ensure that Ultra does not get time. They need a control of Ticket. Like, that's what they should have played for. Just played for Office and Ticket this whole time just to keep them off. So they get Joe at the back, but 3 tries to go on, like, a pinch. And Joe's very smart because he knows that, like, 3 is just coming off P5. He's definitely going to try to take a route similar to what 04, I believe, did on the last one. But, like, Joe's a very smart player. Like, 6 and 8 are both, like... They're both like searching because they know he's around here somewhere. They know he's going to come down here somewhere. Now Joe gets them. And now number 7 gets that spawn. So now they know they're all going to be on this side. And now take a look how tight they're playing. The reason why number 7 checks that, because usually when you spawn up here, it means that they could have gotten a split. But it's actually more if like you spawn like up here. But I still like that he checked it anyway. So now they're playing very tight. They have a guy in ticket because they know ticket control is very important on P5. If you're just playing the outside and you have no ticket control, the guy on the hill is fucked because it's a free kill for like the ticket guy. Um, Free kill, and you can even see like fucking Neptune barging in the door trying, but CleanX actually gets some. And now this hill gets a bit mixy, but Ultra had like full control the whole time. They had enough numbers to keep them off. They played very tight. Look how tight. You're going to see how tight the arrows are from Ultra for like the rest of this game. We watched this whole game. You saw how like, split they were. You saw how Vancouver is doing a very good job splitting them up, just scattering them. They literally had no answer for it at all. And now you're going to see how Ultra plays a lot tighter now. Like, even from this position right here, Vancouver should never be losing. Like, 0-4 in no world should be going on any route here. At this point, you're 14 seconds away from the win. All you need to do, dude, is just play ticket. Like, Ultra can't even take this route. Ultra cannot take this route. And this is the stuff that kind of annoys me. And I think it has to do with experience because, like, you know, he just started playing last year. So, you know, he doesn't really have the experience. Obviously, he's made strides. Obviously, been playing all year. But, dude, Ultra doesn't have enough time to take this route. And you already have number 4 watching it. So, right now, this is counterproductive. You got a guy watching what number 1. Like, Ultra cannot do this route. They can't do this route. They need to hit the hill. You're so close to the win that now all Vancouver needs to do is play a tight, compact setup. That's all they have to do. Just play tight. All you got to do. But instead, 0-4's taking routes on P1. Blows my mind. Blows my mind. Blows my mind. And now look, he's taking routes. Ultra's is flooding the hill. Imagine now if 0-4 is here. You now have 2 guys in ticket. Vancouver's playing tight. Probably could out-trade them. Like, you know, but now look, they're just collapsing. 0-4's taking routes. He gets a kill, but look how far away he is. And now he's like basically doing fucking nothing. And CleanX actually gets him. And now you're going to see. Look how tight they're playing to the hill now. Joe is just playing hedges. He's playing the door. They're now blocking the spawn. All of fucking Surge spawning on this side. So now the guy on P1 watching this. 5 has his help. But he's also in ticket watching the flank. So now 5 picks up the hill, watches outer. This guy goes into ticket. He loses that, but it doesn't matter because Joe actually does a lot here. And, like, Joe gets the exact same carbon copy kill, like, twice. And they actually showed in the highlights. So he's watching this. He's going back and forth watching this and this. So this guy goes across. He spots him right here. So Joe actually spots him here. And he waits for him. He sees him. Gets that guy. Looks. And then he goes back. He's going to check inside the door. Sees this guy. Shits on him. Sees that guy. Plays his life. Slides across. But now knows Vancouver's going to do the exact same thing again. So now Nasty doing the exact same thing again. Look, so now he sees Nasty going across. Gets the exact same kill again. And look how tight they're playing. You just have number 7 blocking. That's all number 7 is doing. He's 17 and 28. But the work he's doing is very instrumental. Okay, this is all stuff you got to keep into account. Blocking the spawn. And now it's like almost around P2. Like, so now Joe goes from like the tight thing to now going over to P2, and you're still gonna see how tight Ultra plays this. Look how like tight everyone is together. Super compact. They realize they can't really split up because like when Vancouver takes routes, because Vancouver always been playing for the outer, they realize now that if we split and we have a guy over here and a guy over here, a guy over here, if Vancouver works together and they have all 4 guys playing outer and like they pick us off, it now puts us in a shit spot. But when we play tight and we can all team fire together, super tight, we can't really get picked off from like the fucking same area. So it doesn't matter if Beans dies because look how tight they're playing on the hill. He's like right behind them, just watching this. They're playing so close together. They hop right on the hill once again, and they keep this shit super mixy the whole time. Ultra's just all playing around the hill, just constant around the hill. There's a lot of trades going on, trust me, but they're playing very tight, constant pressure on the hill. Always has help. Always has help. But Ultra did get very fucking fortunate because Vancouver should have closed this off on like the P1. That P1 definitely should have been it. And even on the P2, definitely could have closed it out. They just needed to realize what Ultra was doing. Ultra's now throwing fucking numbers at the hill. I think Ultra definitely could have played around that and just like hard baited them into hopping on the hill and just playing for kills. But because they had like such a big lead that they definitely could have did that. And now Ultra, not even like totally caring about playing for outer because they have to focus on like what's ahead. And they know what Vancouver did not know on the P5. Close to the win, they just got to hit the shit. So now they're just playing tight. You got the guy up top holding the top control, but everyone else super tight. Outer control, stairs, hill. Like all tight together. Insight kind of overheats there, but I mean, does not really matter. And now Insight gets an outside spawn. Take a look how tight they're playing. And there's a person that asked me, so what are things I could do better as like a main AR? And I told them how to read pressure, knowing the difference between playing slow, blocking spawns, holding spawns, and when you need a help on the hill. This is exactly one of those scenarios. Insight, usually a very slow player playing for outside spawns. But he realizes after he gets a spawn, he can't even afford to hold the outside. The immediate pressure, they're so close to the win. You have to just fly in there. Insight's easily in there to go help. He's in there to help. Crossfires, everything. Now he's on the hill. He realized he couldn't just stay on the outside, had to go help. So that's just heads up. And obviously it's like the last hill. But yeah. And now Vancouver just gets come back on. And then, yeah, that's literally the end of the game. Should never have happened. Like that route from 04 on that P1 was diabolical. I don't know what makes you think with 14 seconds to the win you need a flanker on Eskies. I will never in my life ever understand that. I think that's just like a creature of habit play. He's like so used to doing like plays like that, and but you have to realize like the timing like as well. Like that's another thing you need to get under your belt. And I guess that just comes with like experience, obviously. But I mean, at the same time, it's also just like common sense. You're 16 points away from the win. The other team cannot afford to let you get any more time. Like you're 14 seconds, but that's a very short 14 seconds. That shit could go very quick. The other team can't even afford to take a route. Like no one could have taken that route to go around P5. By then you would have been at like 245. They can't afford to take that route. They need to hit the front. All four had to do is just play ticket. And like you win, All you had to do. Just play tight. That's all Vancouver had to do was just play tight, start hitting the hill. They kept trying to take routes. Ultra was playing very compact. Vancouver could have recognized that in the P2 and just hard bait him to get on the hill and just fucking get the kills on the hill, but they're prioritizing playing for outer. Like they definitely could have played for kills. They still had so much time in their favor. But Ultra just kept flooding and flooding and flooding and flooding and flooding. It was actually pretty hilarious. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed that breakdown. It's always a pleasure doing it. Always a pleasure doing it. But yeah, with that being said, this has been Burrito. Bada boom, bada bye. We'll see you next time. Join the Discord server, Burritos Bowl. Join the Discord server, baby. Number one ESPN analyst right there in the game. Keep it locked.